good to see you guys again. Welcome back to some good old-fashioned collegiate Apex Legends. It's my favorite time of the week. We have officially made it to Friday. Friday is the Premier League. Friday is the creme de la creme, the cream that rises to the top. The best teams in College Apex here. Let me get some hellos out of the way. Matthew Moose, congratulations on being first. 2-3, welcome. Welcome for the very first time. Brian Puente, thank you for the follow. Chaotic, thank you for the follow. Atmosai, Soares, Hyperactive, Toad Strangler, thank you for the follow. Group T, Dr. Suz, Not Koryu, and Baltica. Keep an eye on UFC Exodus. CC Carvey is subbed out by Zany, one of the best players ever. Okay, well, hell, I'm very interested. No, I've been watching. I just now get active in it. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, hey, that's good to see. Well, I'll tell you what, before we get officially down and dirty with the competition, Skittles, hey, welcome back, Skittles. Good to see you, my brother. Let's take a look at the overall leaderboard, because for those who don't know, this is week 3. We have already had a couple weeks of competition, and now we are on to our third of 6. Right now, Cumberland University are in the lead with 65 points. Right behind them is Fisher Esports. Kennesaw Black there in third with 55. Ottawa Braves 53. Southern Mississippi 51. UCSD Gold. Bellevue. University of Calgary. CSUF Fullerton. SJSU, Utah, University of Hawaii, Minnesota, St. Clair, Kennesaw Gold, Houston Red. We could go all day long, right? There are 40 teams in the Premier League. There are 2 lobbies. You got to earn your place to keep when we talk about the upper lobby. If you perform badly, if you are in the bottom 8 of this upper lobby, you end up in the lower lobby the next week. Rhodes has a bandana on. I think he's feeling inty tonight after the bans. Hey, I'll tell you what. I have a lot of respect for Arkansas State working their ass off these last few weeks. But I'll tell you what, they've got to work it a little bit harder if it means catching some tail there. For our upper lobby this week, these are the 20 teams that will receive the maximum amount of points in the overall leaderboard. We have some very, very consistent teams here. Cumberland, Fisher, Bellevue, Southern Miss, UCSD Gold, right? These are squads that have been doing super well. Some tail ones like Calgary and CSUF Fullerton. Of course, there are going to be a few that are rejoining us. T-Dooch23, thank you for the follow. There are going to be a few that are rejoining us. Western Wesleyan here, West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju. You can see him in second place. They have added a new member to their team, Kai and Drake. Not particularly new, but hey, back on the roster, and now they are back up to the top lobby. You can see UT George rejoining us. ISU Farmers, Group T is back in the upper lobby. Texas A&M, the Aggies have made it up here. There are some other great fan favorites. Utah State University Goats, or the Goatlings, as some may call them. Actually, no, those are the Utah State Goats. The Goatlings are in the lower lobby, or they're in contenders. Anyways, plenty of great teams here. 20 on the board. Remember, these will contribute to your overall points. The bottom 8, depending on how that falls, will be knocked down to the lower lobby next week. Farmers, goated name. Hey, guess what? Their secondary squad is the ISU Haymakers. Some would say it's pretty good. Small Guy, thank you for the 15 stream streak. Our friend from the Colorado State. That being said, folks, the game has started. Number 1 of 6. You're going to want to stick around because ultimately, you only get 6 excellent games of Collegiate Apex here. As the week goes on, we get a little bit of contenders. We get some of the NECC, but we only get one night with the Premier League. Only 6 games to get blacked. Oh, are you talking about Purdue Black? Are they here with us today? Or are you talking about RIT? I was about to say there are 2 rosters. Oh, there they are. Teammate Purdue Black is with us. Waukee, Tharquisha, and Kalisk. All right. Well, the Boilermakers are out on the prowl. Some would say prowl. I would say on the track. That being said, we will be starting today on Olympus. That is one of 2 playouts on this map. Remember, we switch every 2 games. So games 1 and 2 will be here before we pop on by. Go Rams. Okay. We'll see how this one ends up. Plenty of time on the board. I mean, honestly, most of these squads are going to be far and above separated here. Arctic Lucas, good to see you from Davenport. Aren't you, don't you have a game, my friend? Don't you got a lower lobby match to get to, Arctic? Howdy, Pabeezy. Tomorrow night? Good to know, brother. All right, well, Fisher here. They're going to be one of the most aggressive squads on this map. They're starting all the way down in the right here, so I expect them at least to make a jump eventually, but we will see. Zephyr has fully confused contenders in the Premier Lobby too. It's pretty bad, guys. It is officially pretty bad. Contenders, Premier Lobby 2, they're about the same thing to Zephyr. Now, Fisher Esports getting a little bit of the sneak up here to begin with. San Jose State University is the closest roster nearby here. And with that scan, though, Dom2 Cracked has got to find another plan. That will not be an available option. That being said, Slothulus is back this week. Last week, we did not have Sloth. We were playing with not Chimera. Dom2 Cracked. Damage already found here. 1 single crack against SJSU. Remember, San Jose State University was not put together on this first take. Slothulus getting shot in the back foot there. There's the bow check on the edge of the door. The follow through from Dom2 Cracked. A drop to the low ground. The smoke only will find 34. A quick run all the way out to the edge. Dom! What a move there! Shmub will be the very first player knocked of the day. First player thirsted, make that sure. Of course, for SJSU, they still have folks like Viking Cap and ton of play. Well, dodging, diving, and feeding through the embers of the low ground here. Looks like Fisher have lost them for now. SJSU might already be on the run and up, but instead, it is the leader of this roster, IGL Viking Cap, caught with their pants down. The rest of SJSU has already gone. Let's take a look over to Utah State. For Utah State, you know what I like to see? A return for Southern Mississippi here. It is not looking good for Dallas and the boys, but they make a statement, finding themselves the very first wipe of our lobby today. Meanwhile, a knocking into Calgary here. We will see where they may find themselves. Bellevue is on the other side. They already have lost out on Bottery. It is a trade for trade, but not a complete knock. Jukesy and Muffins as a duo, holding the edge here of Iconics and FPSA. Everyone is still though. It is a good peek from the likes of Bellevue University. Welcome back, Coach Squid. West Virginia is definitely in it to win it, my friend. Headbone, welcome back, brother. Hogan, Volticla. Hey, he's here. He's here somewhere. I kind of hate Olympus. It's funny because Storm Point is by far our worst map. Starting Olympus will have consequences. Hey, I mean, might as well get it out of the way first. You know, when you have to, like, chase things down. Fisher's in the lobby, by the way. When you have to chase things down for points, you're going to want to do it on E-District, World's Edge, or Storm Point, okay? Or the University of Texas. Shot far and away from Octane. Yes! It is none other than the Revtane for University of Texas. By the way, counterintuitively, you have the crypto to go alongside it. I don't know how to say about that. St. John, Apex College is crazy. I'll tell you what, it's about to get even crazier throughout today. Future 676, welcome back for Fisher Esports. They are here, and they make themselves clear. SJSU just got these revives off of play mastering. Well, Tun will be joining the rest of his team in the dirt here. See how this one goes. The rest of SJSU are going to be forced to run away. That is Shmub again. Texas A&M Maroon. The Aggies are no better. They are currently, at least as a duo, losing out on No You right now. Need to set themselves back up, but in the face of Fisher, this is a bad spot to be. Honestly, they have an aura about them that is chaotic. Taking a look at the zone here, we are going to be pulling directly towards the north. West Virginia Wesleyan, Purdue, UCSD Gold, RIT, Cumberland, ISU, UCSC, Chop, St. Clair Saints, and Hawaii all are playing inside zone. for the Iowa State Farmers here. Group T has made it back to the upper lobby after a top 5 finish last week. Alongside him, he's got the potential for play here. Anderson spikes down from Thanos himself. He will steal this door on the Catalyst. Big problem, though. Looks like the Newcastle wall prevents that door from being opened. And you know what? A gas strap from UCSC Job says otherwise as well. Hey, Kings Canyon. Kings Canyon is definitely not an option. I love Kings Canyon, but it is not an option, bud. Plenty of squads in zone. Quite a few not quite there yet. Looks like Hawaii getting a revive and flying in late. West Virginia down on the low side here. Ottawa the same instead. It looks like for West Virginia Westland Kaiju, this is an extension from YNB to get this standoff. Remember, the rest of the West Virginia squad is in that building right there. Guys, the time I see Kings Canyon, this time it just don't go. Ready to see the skill depth of these teams? Hey, this is quite possibly the best. The best. Nothing more. Little drop against Texas A&M. Will leave one remaining. Art is quick to get a reset there on Sloth, but the reset comes even quicker. What maps are they playing tonight? I'll tell you what, they are Olympus World's Edge Stormpoint. So, Fisher Esports still the edge of zone. Can't pick up their coffin here. That'll be Vaughn with a knock, and it's none other than Bellevue. For several weeks here, Bellevue have not looked to form. They have been at their worst for the Bruins. And at this point, Fisher Esports, they are not out of it yet. They have the draft during the States. They have the reset. Southern Mississippi may be following through here on the edge with Bellevue. And honestly, this is as tough as it gets for a couple years on. West Virginia and Vincent Fullerton will wipe out UCSC gold and the community there. But Southern Mississippi trying to third-party that exchange for Bellevue on their way to Trident. They're going to start to get this one out of the picture here. And Bellevue will survive. Looks like Fisher. That revive has just set itself up here, but the Altar Portal is in the prime position to capitalize. ISU will wipe out that UCSC Chop squad over towards the northern side of the map, but for Bellevue University, the Rolling Thunder is down, and the potential to capitalize on the #1 team in Collegiate is their objective here. Dom, already a tick of health remaining. The Lifeline Tactical. Spodulus, able to find the re-knock onto Vattery. Full of potential options here. Duo for duo on the exchange. Dom to Cracked is separate, but has made their way back here against Bellevue. They're going to use the Ultra Portal again to get themselves set up. Mind you, SJSU is also here as well. Fucking third-party Group T. Hey, you still got 3 KP. Reckless, thank you for the follow. If you've been waiting since Monday, user, I'll tell you what. I think it's definitely worth it.
Weapons ready.
Southern Mississippi, we talked about their early Trident run, and now they are being gate-kept from the edge of zone. University of Texas, a drop for drop, 2v2, wide high low. Will the Revtain roster survive? Here's a big problem, though. Newcastle on the other end is distinctly a mess. I'll tell you what, UT Orange, unable to get a reset now. While Caden was pulled back up for a second, Southern Mississippi have one final knock so they may cement themselves in their own graves there. A couple of long-range shield tracks. The Sheila will go wide, but UC Orange will be the next pickup for Southern Mississippi. Fisher, though, a revive from the States and a quick follow-through from Turbine with 15 squads remaining. Ooh, what a nice mobile shield recovery here. A couple of big beams out from the side. Come on. Fisher Esports, they have been playing with scraps here, and getting these knocks onto USM is critical for a refresh. I say that, but that guy's got 5 batteries, so, you know, how much do they really need? Southern Mississippi out to run here through the Turbine, and safe to say, to play another day. Shot in the back, though, just as quickly. Zach WP's speaking this one out, and the shot that should have landed from the sneak up come back to bite. USM here, Viz, the last remaining member. We will say goodbye to SJSU on the other side of zone on that southern side outside of Hammond. And that will be Bellevue coming through from the gravity engine. Now, for most of the teams that pick the power grid, this is about as open as it gets. Look towards Calgary or Fullerton here on the very edge of these height lines. Those are some of the better positions to play. Hawaii, RIT, Purdue, all moving into the rim to try to play this one out. It is a very, very tough zone to survive. And we'll see the catalyst of these teams here in a second. RIT defending against the wall's edge there. Not Rowan trying to heal this one up for the Rochester Tigers.
Hostile, right here.
The peak from them, likely West Virginia Wesleyan. It does look like they are forced to back off of this exchange. It's just not the best take, especially this early. And plenty of those other buildings being available means that if you don't really get a knock or capitalize on pushing through there, you're gonna die. Hawaii is in this building across towards the eastern side. They're gonna lay down some serious control to a few of these other rosters there. Kennesaw, they will face Alice with one. Did you watch our fight not Koryu? I did not. I was watching Fisher. It looks like we got plenty of teams surviving as they may. Callis with that first knock onto Elixirs there. A couple of long-range beams from Tharquisha seals the deal and says goodbye to KSU. Meanwhile, Bellevue, southern side of zone, finally making their way in. They have to rotate all the way around here to the east. And remember, there are a couple of rats on this low ground. CSUF are just about the corner, and there is the USM rat. Now, Fullerton has the height advantage against Bellevue. They're going to drop the smoke. Point blank on the CSUF. Big man Ox coming in for the CSUF blue roster. Usually was on the previous CSUF orange, has made that jump recently.
We got company, people.
Of course, for Bellevue, the tick of damage could mean everything here. Taking away CSUF's position would be critical for the end game. Don't pour ahead. A couple of long-range beams from Vattery here. And they do have that ultra port play to get on through to the other side. In Bellevue, that port play is on the ready. 13 of the squads also still here. Ottawa, St. Clair, the only two still stuck in the power grid. Meanwhile, Fullerton, a couple of nades up to height here from Bellevue. There's the potential Vattery or Bellevue port. Not really the best situation, but Big Man Ox is getting pushed to that secondary low ground. Bellevue is slowly assuming your territory here. Couple of good heals, and the mobile shield will kick even closer. Ottawa wipes out the last remaining member of Southern Mississippi to take us to 12, but Bellevue are looking to take us to 11. Long range shots there. Truthfully is low, and that is going to be the go button. Vattery with knock number one. Jukesy with another peek down. Here comes Big Bod with that hard star play for another chunk of damage. RJ from Ottawa, though, a Craver's knock, and you now know Ottawa are on the other side of this. The same be said for Fisher. We have the best teams in the lobby, all competing for the very same space. Fisher, Bellevue, Ottawa. This position in particular is great for the end zone. 128, I can only assume that's the last remaining member of CSUF there. Little drill in the back. While Bellevue is peeking, Flocculus is caught out here. Johnson crashing Golden. A knock of one on to Juicy. Dom is looking for every kind of schmuppet around the edge of this one. Bring around the Rosie. Vaughn is knocked by Dom and his Posies. And for Bellevue, they will meet their maker at the hands of Fisher here. Fisher southern side, Cumberland and RIT. Cumberland rotating behind the Tigers here. I mean, this is prime real estate, but RIT are doing a great job getting knocks here. Texas A&M will be eliminated. A full send from the rest of RIT. Parsons is caught and will not go down just till then. Cumberland is wiped out from behind by a mixture of rosters, and RIT, while their position is good, the University of Calgary, with their Catalyst wall, are looking to take it away. Ottawa, 4 Craver knocks. RIT in the sky. Now we've got Dom peeking the edge of Calgary here. That Craver is critical. No hip fire shot for Dom. The piercing spikes go long. Into the high ground, they will find nothing. It's a full beat from the rest of Calgary here. But for Fisher, it's another wipe. We are down to the 5 squads remaining. 1 CSUF, Purdue up north, West Virginia up north, Ottawa out towards the west, and yes, Juliet, your boy Golden is still alive for Fisher Esports here. West Virginia, a full send to start this exchange off onto Purdue. Darquisha is knocked. Joaquin Callan is up on the other side of zone here. The full thirst against Darquisha is usually all they need, though. That secures this being a duo, and Joaquin with that peak is honestly making such a bad decision. That will be Purdue wiped out. 4 squads remaining.
Not used to taking bodies off the ground.
Fisher did get that Kramer's knock. And I'll tell you what, if you think you can survive Fisher showing up, you got a bigger thing coming. Now for Fisher though, I like this decision. Back to the high ground, play it for zone. The minute they give that one up, Ottawa is quick and ready to slide underneath them. So the altar port play was critical. Had they not done that, that would have made their end. Instead, it is Dom again with another Kramer knock. I don't know how many times I could say this about Dom. Every single time, this man is finding success after success. Sloth and Golden now here to the low ground, trying to finish off the remnants of Ottawa. There's support through the other side. There will be long-range snipes. Ottawa probably going to be able to hit these resets. Mind you, another knock from Dom with the Draper. West Virginia Western now stepping up on that eastern side. It does look like Ottawa will lose out on one entirely. Meanwhile, Crimson Monk fully thirsted as that final remaining rat for CSUF Fullerton. 3 squads for the end. Fisher, a full team. Ottawa, a duo. And West Virginia Westland, a full squad there. Slodulans with a Graver of their own. It is another Graver knock here from Fisher. And this team is unstoppable to start the day. Cloak and Reef. 3v2. Reef down, and with 1 to go here, it is a Fisher Game 1 dub. Fisher Esports is literally the best team in college Apex. Golden, Dom2 Cracked, and Slothulus have now set themselves above the rest. Too easy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Congratulations to Ottawa and West Virginia Wesleyan at least making it into that top 3. But let's take a look at that scoreboard. As Limbox is saying, it was a tough zone, guys. Set up within the power grid and it finding its way all the way back there towards the edge. A little bit of the gravity. Tough as it gets. Let's look at the points as they stand, though, for a couple of these squads here. Fisher Esports with 35 now to start the day. Don't run away yet. Don't leave. It's not over. Fisher Esports, as we saw throughout that game, is not infallible. There were a couple times, we even saw Dom forced to survive with those resets in the Estates area, right? So, 35 for Fisher, 23 kills, massive kills picked up by just about everyone else, though. 5 for Ottawa, 5 for West Virginia, 6 for Purdue, 5 for Calgary, 7 for Bellevue here. They only got the 1 placement, so that makes up the majority of their skills there. CSUF does survive to 4th, so they get 5 from their placement, 2 from their KP, and of course 4 for Hawaii, 6 for Southern Mississippi. Now the altar will be removed. So we talk about a lot of those safety plays that saved some of these rosters, notably Fisher, notably Bellevue, right? That will no longer be available. You do not have the opportunity to lose a fight directly and be able to turn it around, almost immediately. All right. Who's on the low end for the start of our day here? A lot of very familiar faces, but the 2 that stand out to me is going to be Cumberland, which is Slasher, Syken, and apparently Future on a different setup today. I'm glad, though, that he told us. I think that is critical that he made it very clear that he's playing with a handicap today. Elixir's Limbox and Kindly Monkey, though, a rough start for them with only 1 point here. Don't be afraid to change all you want during the game. Catch everything and more. One last game here ahead of Olympus. I'll let you take a look at the drops right on top of the bat. Owada is in Stabilizer for Fisher all the way down in Elysium on the opposite side of the map. West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju in Gravity. And yes, CSUF Fullerton, shout out to them. They came through from Terminal. All right, so those are your top 4 teams. Squads like KSU, they've got their start towards the dockyard. Squads like Cumberland are out towards the clinic. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go grab a water. When we come back, we will be jumping into the very next game. Everybody's favorite check-in with your favorite boy. No, it's not Zephyr. It is, in fact, Lewis. Here you go. He's a little baby, man. He's a little baby, man. Look at the baby, man. He is being such a big baby right now. Look at this. Look at this big little baby. He is so cozy. Look at his little paws. Oh, you grabbing me with your little paws? Yeah. He's a little baby. All right, Lewis. There you go, baby man. If you want to sit in my lap, you can. Sometimes he does that. Gonna watch a little bit before bed. Henbone. Hey, you do what you want, brother boy. I'm happy that you're here. Of course, let's pop on back over to in-game. We should be starting in just a couple of seconds. Remember, the games are on delay for competitive integrity. He's not angry. He wasn't awake. He was just sleeping. He is feisty, though. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this feisty boy. Oh. All right. Server is starting here. Fisher Esports have started off the day with a win, but we could see the return for squads like Bellevue, Ottawa, Cumberland, KSU Black, or truly any other team at any given point here. There's plenty of fantastic players among most of these rosters, plenty with Pro League experience alongside them as well. Cumberland, I mean, so many, I was just about to say, Fisher, they are not going to get lucky 6 times in a row. I guarantee you that. Some other squad will have a big game. Singular Frog, welcome back. A Singular Frog. There's your little Reno. And hey, we just hit 10,000 likes here on TikTok. Thank you so much, guys. I know your fingers are tippy-tappy hurting, but hey, I still appreciate them nonetheless. Now, with the altar being gone, we do see the major pickups of the full Newcastle reset composition, as well as the, cost. Right. Those two in combo make for a dastardly setup within any one of these buildings here. As a result, we will likely see the cost expand in the next game. These thumbs getting workouts over here. Dang. Is this how you do it? Do you just sit here like this? I'm more of a four finger rally guy. Anyways, last time around, we did see Fisher send it on to SJSU Blue early here towards, what is that, Somerset University? USU Goats on the other side, by the way, getting wiped out by USF. not for real. Going down one single thumb. Just double catch and watch. See, that's all you got to do. It's easy money. Now, for squads like Fisher in southern Mississippi, they don't like to start on edge. Or, I mean, they don't like to start in zones. This is a fully southeastern zone. So the fact of the matter is we could see Fisher negative rotate out of this equation just to give them the opportunity to hunt for KP here. Their hunt, though, will start with SJSU. Last time around, they were able to find easy knocks to begin their game. They're going to look for more for the rest of this one. Now, little do they know, a good chunk of SJSU has already made a jump out of this POI. To crack up above, and I thought they were all gone. Instead, all three members, the trifecta of this setup here. Well, gas trap blasted out. Nades are being extended. Can SJSU's little rat play give them their first knock to work with here? Hear the pitter-patter of Fisher Esports, but no further engagement. That scan in particular is going to give SJSU away, whether they like it or not. So now Fisher knows. And now SJSU knows. They are just as quickly to get out of dodge. I mean, now Fisher are down into that exact position we saw from SJSU just a second ago. Nice. Mad Maggie drill and the ball to follow. The blast in the back here, and it's a knock on a ton of clay. Shmup, Viking cap. Shmup down, and Viking cap just as quickly here. I liked the strategy, but I didn't like the execution there. That is a terrible start for SJSU. Now out in 30th overall. If they keep this up, they may end up in lower lobbies. Oh, hey, we haven't done predictions today. Oh, God. That's not Fisher. Under 15.5.
Listen that one.
All right. You guys got 2 minutes there. ISU Farmers, they barely got minutes at all. They're going to run straight in to Fisher, and that'll be Group C down. Not Koryu following just as immediately. And for Fisher Esports, that was barely a fight. Now Bellevue, though, third partying this exchange. Dom to crack will be knocked out here, and the rest of Bellevue University could capitalize from afar. A nice flicky and juicy with the triple take knock.
Good to go.
Golden down.
In this area.
It is just Slothulus taking to the sky with the Valkyrie ultra here. Little flying away. And Fisher Esports will die today. I am going to delete this prediction because, you know what? Focus on next time. Well, no Fisher in this game. Here's a third from St. Clair, though. It looks like UCSC chopped. I don't think they're going to last for much longer there. They got the perfect training eye on that dive towards Pro Towers. And Lucky and the rest of SEC continues one out and send the chops roster. Well, done and dusted in 17th overall. UCSC gold here. They are still with it in Pro Towers. UC Exodus, Hawaii, Ottawa, and University of Texas are the only 4 squads that are not in zone. For Southern Mississippi, I can only assume this might be Bellevue here. Dallas, with that kind of beam against them, it has to be Bellevue. A quick Newcastle reset, and RIT are here as well. Marston, Jack, not Rowan, could be third partying this USM reset here. Mississippi on the low ground, surviving for now. Bellevue up above. A few grenades to force Dallas back, and he is low. To the interior they will run. RIT one good peek from up above here. And that is not one good peek. That is one horrible situation. The rest of Bellevue now stepping up from the other side. And I don't think RIT will be able to get this RIT reset off. Bumping, bothering. Behind the Newcastle wall for now. Southern Mississippi set up as well. Remember what I said. Remember, these squads want to play here because this is where the zone is ending. Bell's gonna win since Victor's out. Not yet. They are in a tough situation just as much as any one of these other teams. If Bellevue takes an early knock, okay, there's a big chance they get wiped out. University of Hawaii, I can't believe I'm looking at this. The Hawaii squad is still in Rift. Now granted, to jump down from the northern end all the way towards that Row Towers University area is pretty quick, but we are really taking our time lollygagging on the edge of zone here there with Calgary as well. Granted, they do have an evac from Canada here. They could easily take that one away. University of Calgary, they're going to be flying this one out and over. There's that drop three also. They don't use the evac. Instead, Hawaii, Calgary into zone. Now, most teams are in the POI direct. A quick peek in with Bellevue as they continue to try to assume the space that we saw from RIT and USM here. Taking out USM would be huge. Big beam on the Pearson spikes for now. Info and a thermite. That's 26. Has to dodge out of the nade. Meanwhile, it is going to be a couple of knocks from Hawaii. USM with a knock against ASU. And hey, RIT looks very healthy here, even though they get a bunch of that damage. Meanwhile, Cumberland will find knock number 1 against Bellevue there.
Awesome.
That is a struggle and a half. West Virginia Wesleyan's on the other side of the zone, right next to USM. And they're putting in a couple of snipes from afar. Now, it doesn't look like anyone has died. Just knocks. No further follow-through, no full resets. UFC Exodus, though, taking their time in zone, finally came back to bite them. Hawaii beats them to the edge, and, well, just strictly beats them. Texas A&M Maroon here, now running directly into the Hawaii roster. Mano-a-mano, a 3v3 situation out towards the choke. Hawaii will just barely get themselves out there behind that rock. Rolling runner extended. A nade will find Grab. Texas A&M Maroon dodging a couple of missiles there, but Grab is low. No U is not much better, and for Hawaii, the follow-through is imminent. Behind the rock, a blast for 58 there. Kai from an opposing angle will get the knock onto No U. Long-range beams from Harker punished almost immediately, and for Texas A&M, they are left one standing. Grab all the way far towards the Grow Towers. A couple of snipes, but not enough for them to be wiped out here. Hawaii, though, the benefactors of that fight. Texas A&M forced to play from the Grow Towers. Looks like KSC Black unable to really get it started here on Olympus. That is another knock against them. There is one remaining member now on that KSU Black roster. And, well, with the zone closing there, it is a round 2 close, but KSU survived the recovery on the very edge of zone. Now, West Virginia, right here, point-blank knock against St. Clair there. Big beams in the back, and YM is forced to utilize the tactical to get back to the edge of zone there. Honestly, it's a nice play. Goal first is what matters most. Purdue, by the way. Somehow, some way, Purdue is caught out by West Virginia. Now, USM and RIT, though, combining to assault West Virginia roster. RIT, they don't want to go too deep into this. As a result, West Virginia, wiped out here, will be able to reset. A couple of beams from Southern Mississippi. Zach WP's Viz Dallas right up against, well, part of the edge of West Virginia there. They are slightly split. USU and University of Texas on the western side of zone here. University of Texas are holding this one out as hard as a Longhorn can. Waikai, though, shot from the other end, and that'll be knock number 1 from the Utah State Ghosts. Quick mana recovery. Waikai is going to be picked back up here. Little beam, though, from UT, and it's going to be Tannen trying to hold off the Utah State roster. I mean, the Rev Tane. It's cool, but it ain't just good. 52 seconds to go, and whoever wins this fight is guaranteed a position in zone. Bellevue, they're going to find a long-range knock against CSUF, and now the full friend from Bellevue University clearing out their western backside here is critical to winning the game. There, 58-42, a knock on the truthfully, the rest down below. Double smoke, and Juicy will keep the low ground from up on high. Vide Fonz the last knock, and it will be the Fullerton knock. A couple of missiles, and they should be safe and secure. Now, shout out to KSU. They have managed to get the reset in the solar array here. There are plenty of teams that are still fighting their way in towards the university. Ottawa is one of them. UCSD Gold, University of Hawaii, Utah State could be fine in that very edge of the choke here. See where the rest of these elite rosters find themselves. Ottawa is going to be holding out that late rotation in from the University of Texas here. So it looks like for Texas, they might last for long. Of course, Kennesaw, you just saw them fly over here for the center of zone. Could be Kennesaw, could be Utah State. It looks like it was Kennesaw. They're going to give themselves a position within the university, a their next spot on the very northern side. It's not the best position, but hey, getting into zone is all that matters on a round 3 close. Virginia Westland trying to get the kidnap off. Nothing for YNV here against KSU. That's a big portal. No longer available on these next couple of rotations here. Now, Ottawa, western side, they're focusing most of this attention towards the rotation down from height there. But remember, Utah State is on this other end, trying to play for the exact same position. University of Texas rotates out there. Revenant low. Could be running right into Utah State in any second, you know.
Let's check out that way.
All right. That is it for Graps in Texas A&M, as a Rat was never quite able to get a reset off. Hey, for Utah, though, 3 members on edge. Ottawa is slowly closing that distance. Now, for Southern Mississippi, Hawaii, West Virginia, KSU, St. Clair, and UCSD Gold, they've got dire straits ahead here. We are going to a completely open endgame. Cumberland University are here for now, but for every one of these other rosters, there is only a fraction, and I mean a fraction, of the university available.
Buster, over there.
We should go here.
Let's relocate here.
Watch it.
All right.
She landed near me.
A fly down from up above. All right, Team Orange, they have the best position within the university, but remember, everybody wants a piece of it. I can only assume that was USU, but no, it's St. Clair Saints. Got the dive here. Gerald, a knock from 1 from Hawaii. That will leave just lucky up on the other side of St. Clair to survive. See how the rest go. But for so many of these other rosters, they are contesting into the cluster of university. Hawaii is full health. RIT is full health. Muffin from Bellevue will get a knock onto Cumberland on that western side. ASU will hold the exterior here. Honestly, with 25 seconds to go, it is almost guaranteed that we'll see some of these lobbies eliminated in tow. Cumberland and USU picked apart by Southern Mississippi and Utah State there. Ottawa and Southern Mississippi now the only 2 squads on that western end.
Extended heavy magazine here. Level 2. Ammo up.
I won't always be around.
Lucky as a solo, like I said, able to get this one packed back up. Now, RIT has launched out on their height exchanges. West Virginia Westland popping themselves up to this round above here. Should be enough to get some critical knocks on the St. Clair roster. That'll be enough to be said. Looks like Bellevue may get some of those knocks. Meanwhile, Kennesaw trying to hold off that secondary high ground here against the likes of West Virginia. Bellevue has the ultimate height, though. Ottawa and USM contesting for the center of the zone that University of Hawaii currently holds. It's a good spot, but it's just too early for them right now. The fact of the matter is they have weighed dividends in a position that will not last for long. Gerald already knocked down, and for Hawaii, 1 remaining member on the other side. Let's see. That's right. Welcome to Premiere, Coco. Also, yeah. Hey, don't make fun of somebody else for seeing an ad. I'm just, you gotta give small guy a sub. Bellevue University. University up on high ground, still across the bend there. Looks like West Virginia in their own setup here on the very edge with KSU. I can make myself louder, Coco, if you need. KSU. Hey, you guys gotta tell me these things. University of Hawaii will be knocked out. RIT Orange, just as quickly as they exit out of the zone. Kennesaw Black is here to catch them. Elixirs, Vattery, well, the rest in their stud there will find a couple of knocks. There we go. Up to high ground. Kennesaw will walk away, at least with just one. Problem is, wherever Kennesaw lands is guaranteed to likely be another death to go alongside it. Now, Bellevue University is sharing the exact same space with RIT.
The enemy's here.
ASU, they're going to be wiped out by a final remaining member of Cloaked here. USM getting pinched by Ottawa for now, but remember, Ottawa has taken up so much space that Bellevue from behind should be able to pick off at least one knock here. Reap knocked by Vod. In return, though, for one. It's not much better for RJ, and realistically, guys, with 3 squads remaining, this will set USM up for the win. Unless a magical 2v3 moment can come through here for Bellevue, it is a Bellevue loss, a Ottawa loss. Southern Mississippi as a trio now up on height. I mean, there's the full thirst to the low ground. Bellevue's faced another knock, and this is guaranteed to be a Southern Mississippi finish if I've ever seen one. That'll be it for Bellevue. And with one remaining member of Ottawa left to stand here, it is one good dive away from the Southern Mississippi roster to take our second game. Vallis, a swing, a PK, and a dive behind the knock. Viz, flesh found on the other side. The G7 Scout pinching shots here. Zach W keys to dive for knock number 1. And with Cloaked only flesh available, the rest of Southern Mississippi here will take the dub. Congratulations to Southern Mississippi. Honestly, that was a clusterfuck and a half. I mean, so many teams alive there in that final zone. And honestly, just a tough position for these rosters. Yeah, user hen, you caster cursed it, folks. Let's pop on over to that scoreboard here. Our games will be starting shortly in just a lickety split of time. Let's see how this one goes. Southern came to play. Well, I'll tell you what, it is the best turnaround for Southern that we've seen. Right now, they are in 5th overall, which is honestly not a bad place, but comparatively to folks like Ottawa, KSU, Fisher, and Cumberland, especially Fisher and Cumberland, for Southern Mississippi having Zach W keys, Thalis, and Viz, they should be performing better. Now, this game alone, with the dub on their belt, Southern Mississippi does jump up the board, but it's not as much as you think. There you go. Southern Mississippi up 5 placements to 4th. Bellevue University in 3rd with 29 is going to get a 3-place jump. There's Hawaii also as well. They are still, though, behind Ottawa Braves with 2 second-place finishes in a row. 35 points there. Fisher Esports, though, 41 points. Even though they only go out with 6, that is still enough to set them 6 points ahead of Ottawa. And more importantly, they are still 12 points ahead of Bellevue, 14 ahead of Southern Mississippi. Still, it is a 4-point horse race. The caustic... my gosh. Guys, you ever, just die? You ever sit here and cast for 20 days straight and you just die? Because that's how I feel right now. I'm not even kidding you. Zephyr's going to take 30 seconds. He's going to drink some water. He's going to shut up and just drink some water for a second. Did I watch the clip? No. Let's take a look at the clip, though, because you did post it earlier while I was in game. Where is it? Send it again. Oh, no, I found it. This is a clip from Dom to Crack stream. Let's take a look.
What? What?
That's because the zone's in us.
Scoopy, barely's high as fuck.
Oh,
Oh, shit,
dead.
no.
I got Meg.
I can neither confirm nor deny the current position of Group T. Can we be higher than 20th next week? Maybe, coach. Maybe. West Virginia is still 5th overall and falling. Okay? So not just yet. Point spread is a lot better right now. Fisher is particularly held back by the competitiveness of this lobby. So 41 points for Fisher, 35 for Ottawa, Bellevue with 29, Southern Mississippi with 27, and of course, plenty of more time ahead here. There's West Virginia, Hawaii, Purdue to round out those that have double digits. Let's get a prediction going. Let's take a look at who has the highest amount of KP. Well, it's none other than Dom 2 Cracked and Jukesy. So, we're going to make this one pretty simple. Who ends with more kills? Dom 2 Cracked or Jukesy? And I will show you the drops of World's Edge. That might help you make your decision. 5 minutes on the board for this one. Who will end the game with more kills? For particularly World's Edge, you're going to see Fisher start here by Mirage next to Hawaii, UCSC Chop, Purdue, and St. Clair. And then for the likes of Jukesy here from Bellevue, they are very close nearby in West Skyhook. All right. Henbone, thank you so much. The 20,000 likes. I really appreciate that. Even if you're tired, even if you're headed to bed here, I mean, you still tuned in for 2 games at least. Who's up edging their world? Now, Coach Squid, what did you mean by that? Not quite sure what you meant by that. Well, I'll tell you what, 4 minutes to go. Right now, there's 2,000 on Dom and 1.6K on Jukesy here. It is a tight horse race. Jukesy is still lower than Dom 2 Cracked for the pickup of KP going into this next game. Kills, technically. So, get your bets in. 4 minutes to go. 2,000. Actually 1.8 on Dom. I'm rounding, Jelly, okay? I'm doing my best out here to calculate the trigonomics of the situation. Wow. I shouldn't be allowed to speak. Looks like Ottawa, they're going to start not too far away here from the pack. They will be out of thermal. Good night, Hen. Sleep well, brother. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Over 2 on Dom now. Yeah, 2.7K on Dom 2 Cracked. 3 minutes to go in the prediction. There we go. Little response from the other end. Evens it out. It is now 52% Dom to 48% Jukesy. About as tight as it gets. I almost want to go practice bulimia. I feel like that would make me feel better. What do you guys think? I feel like it'd just be the quickest and easiest solution to my struggles right now. You guys want to see my struggles? Hold on, I'll show you my struggles. Actually, you know what? We're popping into game. My struggles can wait here. I may not be better at all these kids at Apex, but they never beat me at Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, Coach Squid, I cannot say the same. I'm not even kidding you. I don't think there is a single game that I can beat these kids in. At all. I don't think there is a game that I can consider myself better than anyone else at. Like, I'm not even kidding. I just have no experience playing video games to that degree. My most played video game of all time is League of Legends. And even then, I'm just like a gold scrubby, you know? Oh, yeah. What do we think, guys? You guys like that little crush of the can there from Zephyr Cast? Watch this, watch this. Play T-Moan, you'll get D1. I'm diamond, baby. Gotta start playing Stranova. Third-person anime girl tactical shooter. Alright, Coach Squid. The games haven't started yet, so I get to do this magical part of being my own personal streamer. Stranova. What is this? Yup. That sure is. Why? Oh, what the hell? Why should be looking like Flat Stanley out here? Stranova, otherwise known as Anime Flat Stanley. Okay, I like this one. I like this one on the left. All right. Games are officially starting. Let's see how this one goes. 20 squads up, 20 squads down. Fisher won Game 1. University of Southern Mississippi, Game 2. They can turn 2D to dodge bullets and run up walls. So they are Flat Stanley. That's cool.
Let's go.
Interesting. Also, Squid, you've got yourself a competitor. You've got a 1v1 for Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming your way. You have to see how that goes. Fisher Esports likely to head towards the staging to start our day here. Now, it does look like I love that. St. Clair Saints. They see that the pill's open, which tells you you got a little rat scurrying. It's like when you go out into your garage and you see you have rat droppings, and so your parents make you put like 8 rat traps down, and then you watch as all these little mice die sadly, and you just feel horrible because they're only just kind of living their life, and you have to abide by your parents' desires because they think mice are scary, you know? Tall Girl Jen, thank you for the follow. Fisher, they've got one knock onto Fishy to start here against the UCSC Chopped roster. 2 on the other side. Kai and Michael quickly running this one away. Actually, they're kind of split on the runaway. Honestly, could be caught out a little more there. Surprisingly, they will dodge out Fisher, and they will dodge out RIT Orange. University of Texas. I never wish to be the Dome Squad for the Texas team, though. I do wish to be in the presence of more KP. That's about as good as it gets here. Couple of early knocks onto Ton of Clay. Big cracks to come the other way. Waikai dodging this out, given the rest of University of Texas hasn't quite arrived there. And it will be Schmub holding this one cleanly. Still, though, the rest of UT showing up tells you that SJSU have to play for recovery. Ton of Clay fully thirsted out. And for Texas, honestly, this is a lot better than what we saw previously. Viking Cap and SJSU primed and ready. Meanwhile, UCSD Gold, one of the top 10 teams in Collegiate here right now. Good to the Nemesis Scream and Ream. That's going to be Waikai and Caden, Octane and Revenant to give them their safety over towards the stacks. SJSU Blue, I don't even know if they see this large exchange. They've missed the rotate, and instead, they're walking back up for a third-party exchange that could come back to bite them here. Lucian forcing that tactical out of UCSD, or forcing that tactical out of SJSU there. That is full thirst on either side, University of Texas and UCSD. Now,
Bogey right here.
I'm sorry, SJSU has a full thirst against them. University of Texas has a full thirst against them. Jesus. Now, it does look like Fisher was able to find Michael from UCSC Chopped, which could mean that the remnants of that roster, well, no, one is in fragments, so they are okay for now. The majority of our teams are playing towards that overlook area, which tells me that is where the zone is going to fall here. That eastern side of the map. UCSD, they're on the chase. Into the tunnels, searching for gold. Little EMP actions unable and available here. That's the drone down for the Crypto, so you can't even hide for a couple of seconds here. Texas A&M, Arc with the charge rifle. A knock on to Not Rowan is something that we are very familiar with when it comes to Arc from Texas A&M. SJSU, congratulations though. They were able to get a reset inside the zone. Does look like they don't quite know where SJSU went. Once again, this roster is trying to rat things out here. Down below, though, it's a little bit of a run and gun action from Dom to crack. The 4 shadows there. I know this is a Revenant, so this means it has to be the University of Texas. Golden will be the one that finds that knock onto Caden, and for the rest of UT, they are in the lava siphon for now. Still, 20 squads left. West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju. Down below them, KSU Black. They are probably playing the train tunnel. Yeah, here it is.
The enemy farm.
They have to be very, very careful. This does last till the end game, but it has one of the worst walkouts of any single position. So, we'll see how it goes. University of Calgary, Southern Mississippi, trade for trade, a beam around the back here. This would be the opportunity to take them down. FPSA there, though, knocked on the Calgary side. Southern Mississippi, they get all the time in the world to heal this one out here. That actually might be the re-engage for Southern Mississippi if they want to.
Enemy OD. Shield core here.
Level 2.
Shield battery here.
Now, Fisher Esports, they've got themselves set up down towards the lava siphon. I don't know if this will lead into Texas A&M Maroon Wipes. Texas A&M, they barely know. They will find it in the nick of time there, but Dom does not die in any meanable way. Fisher, though, pinching out the Aggies. And honestly, it's time to go. I don't know if the Aggies know this, but it is time to go. Whether it be a Gondola, whether it be a Valkyrie Ultimate, it's time to leave. They will take to the sky there. Either side of the Fisher roster will put in some serious work, but the Aggies will be able to get out of the fight. Fisher a little too far separated, and there's the separation from the Aggies. UT Orange rotating from behind for a reset, and we'll jump on over to Purdue and ISU Farmers. It's knock number 1 for the Farmers, and the full thirst against Tharquisha here. Purdue is stuck. That's another crack on the other side. These catalysts, though, make pushing these buildings so distinctly hard. Now, Kai and Drake in the kill feed. That's a knock on to KSU. I think KSU just tried to peek. I don't think they're actually going to go for this fight. I think they tried to get up there. Maybe there was a drop down. Either way, it is a safety and recovery there. Fisher Esports, they saw the revive from University of Texas, and it will be the knock and thirst of 1 on to Caden here. A couple of opportunities ahead with Gold and Waikai trying to get inside zone. Can't imagine Fisher will catch them anytime soon here. USU Goats, maybe gate kept by Bellevue all the way towards the northern side of zone. God, Chirp.
They might be watching you. Stay focused.
I mean, stuck as a duo, not much better to say there. They're not really trying to shoot this one out. Chirp will be found, and that is 1 remaining member in the Utah State roster. And Bellevue, well, they've got you hook, line, and sinker. The Utah State roster will be the very first team eliminated in this game. RIT, they are the next roster. There's Jack, final member. Clip it. Clip what? Oh, the 20 teams. Hey, 20 teams, Zone 2 on World's Edge is an expectation. Albeit Fisher, Bellevue, and Ottawa, they do everything in their power. Well, to try and say no. Fisher Esports rotating straight into UCSD and SJSU. UCSD on that chase with a knock of 1 here. That could be SJSU down, but it looks like because of the Rolling Thunder, everyone just has to back away from this fight. There is no opportunity to play this one out. SJSU, you can see them there trying to survive. The last beam in the heel. Looks like it will be a tick of health to SJSU's name. Viking cap finally dropped by Hadwin. West Virginia picked off by Cumberland, taking their high ground away. Surprised I didn't see a Kennesaw follow through. They must have gotten too big for their britches for West Virginia. Yeah, it looks like Cumberland is still inside that building up north, so not really in a punishing play.
Bogey in my barrier deployed here.
Fisher still stuck outside his zone. Will have to fight their way in here sometime soon. They are in the very lowest choke there. Dom to crack with a knock on UCSD. And funny enough, these shots you see from St. Clair are actually working against the UCSD roster. Even though they get that revive off, the punishment of Fisher is just that quicker here. All remaining members, all remaining burns, and inside the Lifelink ultimate, they don't even have to turn. UT Orange will be found by the remnants of ASU there. And while there is one member of UCSD Gold still alive here, somewhere on the edge, I can't imagine it's for long. Beautiful 88 from Group T. Looks like Bellevue, a double knock against Southern Mississippi. And for Southern Mississippi, the minute they appear in the kill feed is the minute that they dive off of it. Nick, thank you for the like, brother. 25,000. We are halfway to my all-time record. Bellevue University is just as quick to wipe out the University of Calgary Exodus, so it must have been a partial third party to that northern side of zone. That being said, it is still not in for Bellevue. Hey! Necro Shade! Necro Shade, thank you for the subscription. I don't care if it's Prime or reoccurring or whatever. That's a big dub. Necro, if you be so kind, pick out a color to add to the subathon sign. Love the commentary. It's all in good fun, Necro. Purple. Another purple coming right up. Everyone loves purple. UCSD will finally be wiped out. ISU may be sent on by Fisher here in a second. Hopefully nothing happens while I write Necro's name down. Oh, Tamu Maroon recovering. There's Necro Shade's name. Tamu's gonna run for their life. Out and away from the Ottawa squad. Fisher now trying to break on against the ISU team. Dom takes a front back, and that is a early, and I mean early lifeline ultimate down. That is no longer a lifeline ultimate available for Fisher on these next plays forward. They are in zone, so it's not the worst situation, but their take against ISU is not as confident. Instead, they are even getting shot out from height there. Now, Texas A&M, I do want to point this out. They did lose one on their Valkyrie ultimate. Ottawa was able to find a single knock, even though they do survive. Bellevue in it to win it here, but Cumberland is even better. Trade for trade. It looks like Fullerton, though, from the very edge of the side. Now, they're going to put some punishment down. Bellevue quickly reviving with the Newcastle. Jukesy. I mean, he has about 6 to 7 seconds to live there. Looks like he'll be all right, though. No follow-through from Fullerton, and that will be recovery.
One of them's right here.
You're welcome, Jelly. 13 squads remaining. SJSU, they just got nowhere to go. Playing from the edge, unable to get recoveries all game long. They have been fighting with nothing. One little flex on them from the likes of Reap there. Meanwhile, Cumberland was inevitably finished by Bellevue. There's your map. Fisher Esports, another lifeline ultimate. Back into ISU. Kamal not Koryu and Group T are low. A Catalyst wall will split it. And maybe that has saved ISU, but for how long? A break against the drone. They know those Newcastle walls are not alive for much longer. Kamal will go down, but it is surprisingly through the window. Ottawa is one who finds the knock there. Not Koryu behind the box. It's a big crack. Group T is playing out of his mind to keep ISU in it. Problem is, it's a lifeline. I mean, unless you get full resets, this is terrible. Even still, though, Golden is knocked, and Golden is thirsted. ISU have defended themselves, and they are able to get Kamal back in it. The best team in the game is defended, and ISU survive. Bellevue now, they're fighting to thrive just as well. 14 seconds to go here. Up into zone. It looks like Kennesaw were on high ground, and sadly for Elixirs, not going to be able to get the crawl down below Bellevue University. They've got themselves high ground advantage, but not the best positions into these zones. The same to be said for the University of Hawaii. One last flex on him from the goon, Mr. Muffins. ISU a trio. Fisher not in zone. Shout out to ISU, by the way. They give up their previous building and they move to this next southern one. Personally, I'm going to say this right now. I like Ottawa's position the best. Out here towards the western side, the high ground that Hawaii holds will not be at least in for a while. I'm not one for leaking, but I would like to say Purdue might be bricked. Oh, why? What the hell? Shit. I'll tell you what, half these rosters look bricked in the face of Ottawa. That'll be banana. I mean, one knock down there from the G7 scouts. The catalyst you hope is going to give them the opportunity to heal, but I told you, I didn't like Hawaii's position there. Going to be a stick inside the pill, up on high. Cloaked is trying to set this one up, but realistically, catwall on catwall. They've split the fight as much as they can now. Hawaii, another nade, a knock on Gerald from Texas A&M, and it is one last G7 spray into the pill line. See if they can full thirst this. Fisher will go down to a combo. ISU and Kennesaw, and so we are guaranteed to have a new winner this game. No USM, no Fisher. Houston running this one out, or Hawaii running this one out, up against the edge of the truck line. Kai right next to Tamu. You can see Ottawa maybe full send it on him. Guaranteed though, Ottawa and Tamu both forced to rotate into the lane. God damn, I can't talk to them. St. Clair, Bellevue, Purdue Black, all in the exact same position here. KSU will be wiped out on the very, very edge. Looks like Bellevue just trying to fight their way into Purdue. Joaquin does have that Kraber. One bad peek and Bellevue will very easily get these knocks. Well, still out from the edge. It looks like Ottawa's going to find a subtle knock onto ISU, cloaked with the full thirst onto Group T. And sadly for ISU, as good as their position has been, Ottawa is in just absolute form in this game right now. Taking all of the primary positions there. They're going to drop the Moby point blank. And Ottawa, they're even moving back towards the truck line. For Texas A&M, they are wrapping just behind the likes of Ottawa. The same mirrored position. The minute they step up, though, they are getting shot out by just about everyone in zone. Cloaked with knock number one here against Texas A&M. The rest of this team forced to drop, and that'll be no you as well. It is just Grap behind this blue box here. For Ottawa, realistically, it's extra KP available. Arc full thirsted, no you to go as well. Grap tries to survive, but for the Aggies, they won't even make top 5. A shield broken onto Ottawa here, and you have ISU, Bellevue, Ottawa, and yes, Purdue.
Making contact with enemy.
Now from this position, ISU, I don't know what you do. Purdue will get a knock onto Vattery from afar there, and these couple of G7 scout shot trades from Ottawa honestly sets them up in one of the best positions in zone. Now granted, ISU, they still have the banner reset recovery. Purdue is a solo in the form of Joaquin with a Kraber shot here. They will go down at the hands of Bellevue. No surprises there. Ottawa, Purdue, and again, another reset for Iowa State Farmers here. They are on the edge of zone, though, right in front of Ottawa. I can't imagine they survive at all. Big beams, a drop onto Group T. Not Koryu, sniped away from Vattery. The rest of ISU trying to reset this again down below. And finally, we will say goodbye to ISU. Ottawa from high ground, Bellevue from Purdue's original building, and St. Clair Saints on this northern side. It is a 3v3v3. Now we talk about the poll. It is kind of in a decent spot for all of these teams. I will say, though, Bellevue probably has the furthest exchange to make here to get into a playable position. They can run up that fence line next to St. Clair Saints, but that kind of sets them up for failure almost immediately. Bellevue, a good knock is critical to what they need here. Hard set out on the edge of the pills, and I like Juicy's decision up onto the roof here. This high ground, it's going to give them some legs to work with for a while. Problem is, mobile shield down. Bellevue no longer have their building. The portal is out. It looks like they're going to take the dive. There's the split from Ottawa on their side of zone. They are just trying to wait out this building as long as possible. But realistically, we are going to get the 3v3v cluster. St. Clair, the minute they peek out, it's Bellevue to find a knock. Lucky with another. And Ottawa is now the only full health roster here. St. Clair goes down. Vaughn is low. No Cravers. Instead, it's Juicy with a 99. 2v2. Bellevue now, a 1v1 scenario. Juicy, the fail next. Mobile for mobile, shield for shield, the crack on crack. Juicy is ticking in the piercing spikes. Folk is healthier. A shield cell heal here for Cloak. And a final heady for Ottawa Braves. Oh, how the mighty fall there. Still, big KP for Bellevue. At least they wipe out SCC. And remember, folks, the 3 KP from SCC is, pretty good. I was rooting for a Purdue dub until what I watched. Purdue is never going to win that game, though. There's a reason my observer wasn't on it. They were just not in a good position. That being said, let's take a look at our halfway point scoreboard. This game alone, though, I asked you guys who would win, Dom 2 Cracked or Juicy. Juicy with 10, Dom 2 Cracked with 2. You cannot make that up. Congratulations to those of you who picked Juicy in the end here. That is going to break that one off. Bellevue with 30, even though they finished second, it is their KP that makes the difference. Ottawa with 27, though, is oh so close. 10 for ISU Farmers, and the rest of this lobby, it barely even comes to any climbing distance towards the rest of this KP. Ottawa Braves, though, with a second, and first place. That will be 62 points there ahead of Bellevue, who both jump up into the top 2. Coach Squid, 3 months. Fun fact, subscribing for 3 months concurrently in a row makes you eligible for the Zephyr postcard program starting in March. Every quarter of the year, those that have been subscribed for 3 months consecutively are able to get a Zephyr postcard. It's a nice little message. If you're willing to share your address, I can send it over to you. Fisher Esports now falling behind. They start the day off so magnanimously with 35 points, but they have been falling behind at 6 and 8 respectively. Much better performances out of Ottawa and Bellevue, at least today. Southern Mississippi with their own win, having some struggles. A 1-point game this time around. University of Hawaii, they're able to pop on up 1 placement. Kaiju falls a little bit. Purdue's still in the running, but St. Clair Saints, that top 3 finish, at least keeps them clutch. And more importantly, the ISU Farmers, that game right there is definitely enough to keep them out of this potential bottom 8 drop down. That is a critical spot that we're going to have to start talking about right now. CSUF and University of Calgary are currently guarding that edge. An uncharacteristic day for teams like Cumberland and like UCSD Gold. They are just not doing well right now. And honestly, I'm not even kidding you. I kind of want to see Cumberland turn this one around, because there's nothing more than I would hate is tuning into next Friday and having Cumberland in the lower lobby, right? Cumberland in the lower lobby is just going to decimate them, and what's the competition, you know? So, at least for now, Future on a different setup really might be the difference maker here. They've only picked up 4 kills and 4 placement points. We'll see how they can turn around. The same for UCSD, by the way. This is a roster that's really struggling. SJSU unable to get their feet off the ground as well. Gosh, my power rankings are not looking good here. Shout out to the St. Clair Saints, though. They might get a little jump this week. Anyways, I'll tell you what. Let's get another bet going before we jump into the game here. Let's take a look at damage dealt. 3,100, 3,670, 3,800. I'm going to make this one very simple. Over, under, highest damage, 3,600, over, under. Because we are starting, well, actually 5 minutes is pretty good. 30,000, user, thank you so much, brother. That is insane. Take a break. You got 3 games to go. This is not your job. Try to enjoy yourself. Kick back. All right. Over on 3,000, highest damage. All right, the highest individual damage. Scroll down for me, please. All right. So here's the players. This is from last game. Here's the overall, though. Bellevue, Cloak, Juxie, Dom, Ottawa, Fisher. Dean's doing really well for West Virginia right now. Kai for Hawaii, Southern Mississippi, Bellevue's Muffins, West Virginia, Wesleyan's YNV, Reap, Rusty, Thalys, Arc, Cayenne. I mean, some fairly consistent players. The lowest right now is all of SJSU. Yeah, 9K damage for VOD in just 3 games alone. That being said, 21 kills for Juxie. Bellevue is back. Let's hop on to the last game of World's Edge here. Sniping shots from Fisher has already gained. I'm watching on TikTok and... Hey, I appreciate that, user. Anything to help that CCV go up. I've kind of been stuck at 40 average for a while. I don't know how to get above 40 average, guys. You guys let me know. Is there something you want to see from these streams? I've been streaming every day. Maybe streaming every day is not the move. Maybe I gotta make this more, maybe I'd make this rarer, right? Giving y'all the opportunity to tune in every single day doesn't make you want to tune in every day. Of course it wouldn't. You're getting too casual, Zephyr. Oh, I'm betting it all. For Necro Shade, that is a total of 466 on the over for highest damage. We'll see how it goes. How many shots should I do tonight at the bar? 30. In all seriousness, though, let me know what you guys think would make the broadcast better. We've got, I really want to try to keep getting this out there as much as possible, you know? I think doing the multi-streaming has helped. Make prediction more entertaining. It's not a bad idea. Do you have a particular way? Getting drunk. I don't drink, sadly. But you make me. I swear if I lose this bet too, I'm down near 2K. That's tough.
There's one, mates.
What if I made it so that, like... What if I made it so that predictions...
Got me a new upgrade. Can't wait to give it a spin.
What if I made it so that every time you won a prediction... What if we made it a competition and I gave away Apex coins? What about that? Per month. Once per month. So those that tune in and get the most predictions right get Apex coins.
Survey beacon over there.
40 for every day is pretty good. Oh, I am a failure. I'm a failure until I get to triple digits. I would say most prediction wins. That or I just buy whoever gets the predictions right at heirloom. University of Hawaii here. They might be the first squad to start a fight, and it is none other than against Fisher. see how it goes. Golden, Slothulus, Dom to Cracked. They're gonna find first knocks down onto Gerald. Looks like Banana and Kai might not be allowed to survive for much longer here. Slide from Banana. Kai on the other side. I mean, this is dire straits for them. They are able to get, further. Surprisingly, Fisher are not sending this. It's probably because of the proximity of Cumberland. So that will be Fisher walking away from the exchange there. Meanwhile, UCSD Gold, we saw last time around how they punished out UT. A couple of slowing Sparrow takes there as it's another big burn into Hadawin in return. Lucian with a potential knock. Long-range shots from the UCSD roster. Knocks on from Gold. Another further burn there, and that will be UT trading another on the other side. Caden launching forward with a Forge to Shadows. A drop onto Hadawin, but only 50 health to Caden's name. It is now the 1v1. A little bit of a heal, and the UCSD Gold roster will outpace UT Orange on the edge of zone. Meanwhile, Bellevue University, they'll be saying goodbye to Hawaii. Not much more to say other than that. You've still got Cumberland, Bellevue, and Fisher all in the exact same area here. Cumberland have got themselves shields to work with, but Bellevue are trying to assault their position. This would be another major Cumberland loss, but Jukesy is down. Slasher with one. It's up to Fuchsia on a different system to get the 1v1. There's the Newcastle reset, and Future's got to get these re-knocks here. Utilizing the Valkyrie walls. It's a double flick knock.
1 second, we got
Even
this.
on a different setup here. It is the absolute insane success of Fisher. Sorry, I meant to say it's the absolute success of Future here. What an insane play. Absolutely elite Spectre. Now, for ISU farmers, there ain't nothing elite about this. It's a nice crack for Group T. But, oh well, you know what? It is a 1v1. Maybe we'll see a reset on either side here. The Catalyst Wall did not land in the right place for Group T, though. And for both rosters, they're going to try to set up revives here. Maybe that nade stopped Group T from getting it off. Yeah. Unable to get the revive off because of the nade. Group T is stuck on the low ground as one. Fishy is already peeking this out. And the minute that knockdown shield is deleted, it's guaranteed to be the end. A nice peek for Group T, though. Beams for beams. The L-Star into the nade, though. And it again is going to be ISU out in 17th. Meanwhile, Fisher Esports. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is a mixed end for them. University of Southern Mississippi here. They're going to be sending for the final moments against Fisher here. This could be what they need, but there seems to be a third party out on the edge of zone. It is Utah State with that drop onto Goth Apex that lets us know USU EMP will prevent it for now. A drone is blasted out there, so that will slow things. But remember, Utah, they're recovering on the outside of zone.
Over there. Enemy over there.
Jackpack's at Clip on Thermo, so is just fighting SCC. That sucks. Majority of our teams are in here. West Virginia Wesleyan, UCSD Gold, University of Calgary, USM, and Utah State still working their way into one of these final positions here. West Virginia holding out. UCSD will have to wait and see. Looks like there's a couple of long-range knocks against Texas A&M there, and it will reveal, a couple of falters. Still, UCSD Gold, first knock against West Virginia Wesleyan, and it's SJSU from the other side. This is a pitch play now set up for UCSD. Dean PS, though, saving the day. It is still followed through by Lucian. Hadawin and Lucian from one side, the entirety of SJSU from the other. Will this be the reset that West Virginia needs? I don't think so. Looks like YNV is going to be that last remaining member for West Virginia to survive on the very edge of this southern zone here. It's tough to say, folks. YNV is an excellent player, but this late into the game, there is a crafter nearby, but it would take some real schmovement. 16 squads in. Southern Mississippi and Fisher. Notably, Fisher just got their own reset. Shout out to Cumberland. I mean, massive shout out to Cumberland. Able to get their resets. Oh! The kidnap! We finally catch the kidnap! The tag play is gonna save it, though. Oh, thank God it's not a waste. Oh, but Future may go down. He overpeaks height. Purdue Black. Oh, the greed, the lust, the greed. Oh, no.
Over there.
Future will go down here. Even though it was a perfect hijack, the chase to the outside was the wrong move.
Listen, let's move
that
that
is
way.
now the best player from Cumberland, no longer available to play this one out. RIT, by the way. Long-range Kraber knock onto Tharquisha there. Meanwhile, Southern Mississippi trying to stop Fisher before they can get ahead of themselves. Slothulous already knocked down, and it is just Dom to crack here. And, well, Golden, safe to say, another drop to the low ground. Who knows? Maybe this is what Fisher needs. Separating these out is how you get good KPs. Zach is actually very low. Dom has been able to heal it. Getting that wipe onto Zach should be enough. But still, it's not the best positioning for them. Continuing to hold out this choke. Remember, Fisher can walk this in from the other side. It does look like UCSD Gold are able to take away that southeastern house from SJSU. Texas A&M, they are still playing this one out towards staging. 1v1 final circle, I'm calling it. I'm going to say 3v1. 3v1 Elite Spectre. I'll match you on that. I think a 3v1 final circle. And I think the 3 go Ottawa. Ooh, wow. Astral, former friend of the Ottawa roster. Right now, Ottawa Braves are doing pretty well. Their cheats have downloaded over the weekend, so they are looking pretty good now. I still go to Ottawa? Why don't you play anymore? Wait, why don't you play for Ottawa anymore, Astral? Texas A&M, they don't play with their food for long. Looks like Fisher Esports have been able to get a couple of resets here. Looks like Slothulous, Dom, and Golden are held out to the low ground for now. This is still one bad crack away from Texas A&M getting some good thirst here. Arc is too separate. The death of this roster will be Arc being way too separate on the exchange. No, you will get full thirsted from Dom to crack. The minute the rest of Fisher step up, I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. At least Arc will get the knock on to another. It is a double from Goth Apex from Utah State, and that lets us know that there is Utah State here as well. One final knock for Texas A&M, hopefully ahead here. There's the dive from Dom to crack around the edge, and the Dom skull will survive for now. Goth will be dropped, and the Utah State Goats, they're gonna burn out to ring here. Fisher, Dom does make it all the way towards the low ground. We'll see how it goes. Southern Mississippi still in it for now. Winners of game 2. A couple of full thirsts. That'll be RIT Jack picked off there. Southern Mississippi have just guaranteed that they now have a Kraber in their hands. RIT, though, still alive out towards that northern end. I will say, I like UCSD Gold's position. It is a top 5 position guaranteed. Cumberland is not in a bad spot either. For a lot of these northern teams, though, you got to figure out how to get into zone here. Where is Waukee? Purdue Black is currently set up on top of the central spire. Ottawa, a knock against them. R99, a full thirst from Truthfully from CSUF. Ottawa unable to get themselves set up into a knock there against Fullerton to fight for zone. Ottawa is now a duo from that Grandma's House side. Calgary, I don't know if it's much better for them. They're still stuck outside of zone. Looks like, I didn't get to peek for too long, but it looks like Texas A&M might have gotten in here. CSUF Blue, a good spot as well. Yeah, there's Ark, a charge rifle knock against ISO Zany. That might be the rest of Calgary getting thirsted here. Lost Aimer, a huge shot against them. They do have Know You for the beacon, but here's the problem, folks. It's time to move, and there just ain't a lot to work with here. It's a dive on the very edge of zone, and honestly, Texas A&M, play this one slow. You've already gotten 2 knocks against Calgary, and you just need to make sure your backside is clear there. That is possibly Dom 2 cracked on the other side of Texas A&M dropping down from above. Meanwhile, Calgary somehow, some way, able to last here. Ark, though, charge rifle knocks on a peak. A 2v2 here against the Calgary roster. They will hide behind the knockdown. And there's the Sheila to rip on through. A little peek in Ark with the Sheila. A triple kill. That is a 3v2 situation after those resets there. And it is still a Tamu wipe.
One of them over there.
My boy Ark. That's just how he does it. For squads like St. Clair Saints, they are now forced to move out of this building. USM are holding the exterior. The same to be said on the other side. This is a cluster on the dome building here. And St. Clair Saints, they ain't got much of an answer either. KSU have guaranteed a little bit of safety with Catalyst, but it's not for long. Cumberland will wipe out Dom 2 cracked, and that will be Fisher down in 10th overall. They're gonna have to turn around their games on Storm Point tonight. KSU, a little burn, 35 seconds to go. Southern Mississippi, if they take this fight, it has to be absolutely critically clean. Ottawa Braves, they got the reset, but this doesn't look like reset. PK set up there. The aim is wide for RJ, but the piercing spikes will come in clutch. A dive from the Newcastle. Double knocks found. UCSD Gold resets are crowned. A quick beat from Lucian, and now they're getting third-partied. Mobile shield be mobile shield. It's Fullerton here. Lucian knocked out. High ground is taken. Fletch up above. And for the Fullerton roster, the Elephants have come to stomp. That is going to be truthfully stuck with the Newcastle reset. 7 squads remaining, and KSU have just barely gotten themselves a place in zone after Fullerton have moved on. Meanwhile, St. Clair Saints, there's the EMP action that they might need for this fight. Here we go.
One of them's right here.
Tamu is a full 3. Good catch. Ooh, another port play, and it's Limbox. Double knocks, 1 in return. Meanwhile, Southern Mississippi holding off St. Clair there. They'll drop point blank, and it's 1 remaining member for the St. Clair roster. A couple full beams, and they're going to drop the Catalyst wall to cross into their own place of safety. But remember, they've got KSU, CSUF, and, well, a little bit of St. Clair still in it. Mind you, Purdue and Cumberland are still in this game. That's it for St. Clair. We're down to our top 4 here. More cracks for Southern Mississippi. This has got to be Southern Mississippi, Purdue, Cumberland, and Texas A&M. Texas A&M playing the low ground southern side. Southern Mississippi, the outside of the West. And yes, Cumberland in the center, Purdue up top. This is as bad as it gets. Remember though, folks, this high ground will be forced to drop at some point, and it is still a stack. Zach W. Keys will get a, I mean, he's got a Kraber knock on a future, but because of the distance there, you can't really capitalize. Ark over peaking without the edge of his shield there. No one is down yet. So, Purdue will be forced to drop. I don't know where they will put themselves, but it is critical to this game. If it's right on top of Cumberland, I don't know if they survive. Meanwhile, Southern Mississippi arguably has the best position, I'd say. It's a tough spot to play, but they have the biggest place of play to work with here. Tamu, edge of the platform, already being held out by 2 rosters. The final zone is closing in here. It is a 3v3v3 for the final game. Zach W. Keys wants to start this off with a Kraber. Nothing for now. Another peeking. 150 is good, but that high ground is still in. He will be able to heal this. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, likely the first team. Well, maybe not. University of Southern Mississippi, they turned themselves into a fight here on the edge of zone. They've cut off a piece of it with the Catalyst wall, but they're getting shot from up above. Purdue are still here. This zone has lasted much longer, and that'll be Zach WP's down. Dallas as well, and for USM, there are one member left standing there. A little dive from Texas A&M on the outside, and they are laying in to Cumberland's rotate here. Grab though, full thirsted around the back. They do not have a Newcastle for Texas A&M. Meanwhile, Purdue jumping on to the likes of Texas A&M. That is a massive example of success here, set up for Cumberland. Walkie, a couple of full thirsts. Cumberland still healthy. This is ratting. This is ratting. Southern Mississippi, they will get some damage on Purdue, and it is a three-man squad. Texas A&M Maroon has gotten a reset. They barely have zone. Cumberland is fighting. Darquisha and Calix thirsted. A big team around the back. That's going to be the rest of Purdue. A 3v3 against Texas A&M here. A couple of shield swaps. There's the arc, but it's going to be a knock number one. Future with another. Cumberland for a dive. Cumberland University, center from below. Congratulations to the Phoenixes. That is the game they needed. They needed a clutch game here before we got into Storm Point. Now I gotta move fast. We are already on Storm Point. Let's pop on over that scoreboard here. I asked you guys before this game, over, under 3,600, the highest damage. Just to check and show this off, though. Cumberland jumps 11 spots here. They are now with 34 points. Texas A&M Maroon with 25. Purdue up a single spot there with third. What an end game that was high. Elite Spectre, thank you so much. Hey, Genju, welcome, my brother. St. Clair Saints hold on to 8th. UCSD Gold jumps up to 9th. And we've got West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju, Hawaii, and KSU Black. It is going to be teams like CSUF, Calgary, ISU Farmers, who have all fallen now into the bottom 8 here. That's a great return for Cumberland and should keep them competitive in the top 12. Ottawa leads with 65, Bellevue with 60. Fisher Esports not far behind at 53. Cumberland, though, they've got some ways ahead. And now, I'll tell you what, there is no crypto allowed. I want a tough pose, misplays. I want a tough pose. Player standings, the highest damage that game was only 2,719 from Arc. Yeah, 4 squads that last circle was insane. That is probably the highest quality match we've had all day. 6.11. For some reason, that match was not considered as high quality as the others. I disagree. We've got 2 more games to go here. We're going to be popping on to Storm Point very shortly. And for this game, CSUF is missing allows, so can't be too mad at them. That is true. They have Big Man Ox filling in, so it is a difference maker. If they finish top 12, that's pretty impressive. Well, lost all my points. My mama didn't raise a quitter. I'm going to bet it all. Let it ride. Amen, Necro. Here we go. What's a good bet? What's a good bet? What's a good bet here? Let's pick our winners. Let's go standard winners. Cumberland University, they've had 14. They've had 4. They've had 0, and they've had 0. Let's meet them in the middle. Let's say 7.5. All right. You guys got 2 minutes on the board. Get your predictions in. You won your points. You take them to bet them. I advised against betting at all. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. Let it slide. Let it ride. All right. 2 more games to go. And we are starting to get to the point now where the points truly matter. Necroshade, you said let it ride, and I assume you only have 50 points to put up. So We'll see what that truly means for you. I'm going to pull up the overstat on my phone here before we get into game. Because this is... I got to keep track of these point standings now from now on. 130 points? Well, you serve to make a little bit of money. I assume you put it on the over, though. So you're only getting a little bit. Sometimes betting's part of life. Sometimes betting's part of life. It's true. You got to take a gamba. All right. One little checklist ahead here. Zephyr's scratching his nose. Let's pop in game to our last 2 matches of the day. Zephyr is going to go grab a water bottle, and then you guys get to see his cat afterwards. Whoa. Bro, look at the SP drops. The bottom right is so fried. Bellevue, Ottawa, Fisher, Kennesaw is there, and Stormcatcher even. Cumberland's up towards Zeus, UCSD Gold, CSUF. Those are some of the best rosters in the game on that eastern side of the map. All right.
Got a weapon supply bin here.
My name is Zephyr Cass. My name is Lewis. I welcome you all. Hold on. Oh, hold on.
Let's camp.
They're just looting. It doesn't matter. This is cute. Hello. I am Lewis, and I welcome you all. No, stop. You gotta do it, bro. You gotta do it. You gotta do it for chat. My name is Lewis, and I... Are you going to work with me? Are you going to work with me or not? That's fair. Can we stop watching Apex and just watch this? It is true. The cat is nice. Oh, he's sitting on my lap. All right. You're very cute. Oh, little cat check. Little Lewis check. Every time I go get a water, he likes to stop by and say hello. And now he is suckling his toy. He does this little thing where he still nurses, kind of, because he was bottle fed by me. I found him when he was a baby. He was bottle fed, and so he'll nurse on his toy. UCSD, they play like babies, so they're gonna have to nurse Cumberland here. That didn't make any sense. Box as not, but he really shouldn't, because I can't even put that much time on the screen.
That way. Go that way.
Shout out to UCSD Gold, able to get out of the exchange here. Meanwhile, University of Calgary, after falling out of the top 13, this is their chance to recover here. One full wipe against the Utah State roster, and that is all FTS Aether. Meanwhile, I almost was going to point this out. We had University of Texas versus Texas A&M. That is a legitimate college rivalry. I'm not even kidding you. Texas A&M and UT are so close to each other, but looks like we might be saying goodbye to the UCSC chopped roster a little bit sooner here. One remaining member for UC Santa Cruz, and honestly, I mean, they're at least able to run away for now, but that scan right there, that will tell Fisher,
Watch your back.
that will tell Fisher that they've got someone behind them. Hell, they've got Purdue as well. For Bellevue University, they've picked up a hell of a lot of points today, but they are contesting to retain, or at least push themselves into first overall. Jukesy, couple of long-range knocks. Muffins will be revived inside the IMC armory. Oh no. This is #1 versus #2. The full send from Ottawa. And it might be all over for the Bellevue Bruins here. They're able to find the trident for now. Meanwhile, Dom 2 cracked. A point-blank Nong on to Purdue here. And this is tough. Am I allowed to take my shirt off on Twitch? Is that a thing? Can I do that?
Buster over there.
I don't think so. No?
Enemy spotted.
Damn. How's Dom get away with this? I'm so hot. Kennesaw holding off the launch pad for now. This is where this zone will be ending. So, a position against Hawaii and a few of these other squads. So it goes. I just get away with it. I don't know, guys.
Optics. Extended heavy mag here. Gold here.
Oh.
Shield cell here.
Harvester here.
Let's check out that area.
UCSD Chopped will be wiped out here, but it is at the hands of UCSD Gold finding that last remaining rat. I think it was all the way towards the north. Now, RIT Orange. KSU Black up above still. Looks like Hawaii has gotten that furthest eastern building. Fisher up above here in the barometer area. There's the trident play, and it makes you wonder who just escaped. For Fisher, they'll be okay for now with just their 1 KP against ISO Zany. Looks like that was UFC Exodus. Bellevue, by the way, getting their revives on the very edge of zone. Meanwhile, Ottawa here, they are playing the bridge. 1 bad knock against CSU at Fullerton, and that could be the remnants there. Still, though, it was actually a worse take for Ottawa. They almost died on that port play little sneaky snick. Truthfully, is a little bit further down there than I would like. At this point, if you're truthfully, just enter through the back door. That's what she said. Purdue! Interesting, Brick. We'll see. Purdue is dead, and Texas A&M, they might as well die to zone. Looks like it will be University of Texas who found that last chunk of damage against Grap there, but realistically, they should be fine to walk it in from the north. Why are we dying to the big red zone? Well, they wrapped from down beast all the way around, so that's really the question. Either way, no, you will be full thirsted there. And I can imagine it might be a little more than that. 17 squads. And Tam and Maroon is officially a duo. I mean, I'm proud of them. They at least are in 7th right now, but 25 points in 7th is not safe. I'd like to see them get a little bit higher here. And going out in 17th, 16th, 15th. I mean, come on.
Let's go that way.
Southern Mississippi. One of our previous winners today. Did he just lag? No. They want to avoid so many of these teams that they choose to rotate in such a wonky way, you know? And so, also didn't take off with enough health to their name. Might have not even had enough health. Either way, we'll check in with Bellevue. They just got a reset for them. For Fisher Esports, we've talked about this. It has been abject failure for this roster, and it might be a little more. It is a trade for trade. Juxie's down below. Juxie, golden from afar. There's going to be the lifeline ultimate from Dom, and Dom is getting outclassed here. A dive and up in the air. It's a snipe, and Fisher. They have one last game here for Fisher to put this one together for the end. I mean, you cannot make that up. That is as tough as it gets for Fisher. From number 1 to now, they might not even be in the top 5, folks. What the F is this ISU? Well, I'll tell you what, it's better than seeing Group T play Catalyst together. That was a choice. Looks like we will see the rotation from up above. Evac to high ground here. ISU Farmers looking over at the scan. Knock for you. Primed and ready. Any given moment here could find one of those knocks with the triple take. 66 again. This has been constant punishment on these peak plays. Slowly checking out with that mobile shield here. No seeded zone. Oh, that's the worst. Never mind. That just sucks for Tampa. Well, up on high, UCSD. They've got the verticality against ISU here. Lucian is taken low, though. And that is the first major response, I guess, from Iowa here. UCSD, though, trying to play this as respectfully as possible. The Farmers are now pushed back inside the Stormcatcher Direct. Does look like Cumberland able to pick up some extra points on the board. That's going to help them fight for the top 4 here. Maybe even surpass Fisher Esports this game. RIT, a long-range knock onto West Virginia Wesleyan. ISU, I like this. Round 2 is closing. You want to beat them out to the stairwell. You want to get to a high ground position. I think this is a great decision from the Farmers to make sure that they stay relatively safe and, well, just strictly aren't punished for this kind of rotating. Now, UCSD Gold is out in front of this, and UT Orange is all the way towards the side. It is a round 2 close, so maybe ISU is going to take this even deeper through the Spider's Choke to get them to zone. It's going to cost them quite a bit of their life there, and West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju will be waiting for you on the other end. CSU at Fullerton, long-range knock on Ottawa. I assume that should be revived. Remember, when you see those triple take G7 scout knocks, it's a question if they truly matter. That being said, though, Bellevue is here from the eastern side. These resets have just come through, and it is actually CSUF, not Ottawa, who's set up in this position. Crimson Monk is exchanged there. Bellevue a couple of peak pays, and that is it for the Fullerton roster. Bellevue will take the western side of the bridge. University of Calgary are also here, and my only real question is, where did Ottawa go? Looks like Cloak will find a knock on ISO Zany, so it looks like Ottawa is here and ready in the paint. Lost Aimer, FPS Aether. Also close, and a nade for a scan. Ottawa, the very brim, the edge. Yankee with no brim type zone type shit on the eastern side of this one. We'll see if they manage to survive. Texas A&M Lagoon is walking on the other side. Is this Canadian? It is North American. Well, it's American and Canadian. So there are quite a few Canadian schools here. Looks like for UC San Diego, they will be wiped out in the meanwhile. Let's go Canada. Well, you'll be a fan of quite a few 2v2 endgame calling it. I'm going to go 3v3. Ian Drake, Slasher, West Virginia versus Cumberland. Future's already found a knock of one, even on a different setup there. A knuckle cluster. There's the rampart wall. And it's still double knuckle cluster knocks here. The rampart just can't quite peak enough. And Future is Cumberland. That will be West Virginia out in 13. That might have guaranteed some good rotations ahead. You've got University of Calgary. You've got Western Outlaws. You've got St. Clair Saints out of Windsor. You've got the... There's a lot. There is a lot. I'm sorry. You got Ottawa. University of Ottawa. You have... I mean, there's a lot. The ones that we're seeing in this lobby right now, St. Clair Saints and Calgary in particular. Michael, good to see you, brother. Up top, UT Orange. I mean, they've had, honestly, a rotation and a half to get to zone. They were one of those few squads playing in it. When does TSM play? Oh, my man. TSM are jacking off in the back room right now, brother. We keep them on like a literal IV of cum to feed us here in the Collegiate scene. That's how we get our power. That's how we survive. Anyways. Who is Michael SD? No idea. Why are you jorking it? I'm providing context. Jesus, this chat just has no idea sometimes. You'd think you'd be caught up this one. He doesn't know SDSG Legend. I'm sorry, Michael. I never paid attention to any other team Oh, if you rebranded, I don't know who you are then. What's his actual name? Give us Cam under the desk? It would just be Lewis, which is honestly what you said. Had it for 800 subs. Awesome. Season 3 champion? My real name is Michael. Good to know. ISU Farmers here up against Texas A&M, and I don't think they were ever able to find a reset for their roster. Big damage down, and that will be it for the Aggies at the hands of ISU. Let me see this. A couple long-range snipes. Just tell me your original username, Michael. I don't know any of the players by their real names. Oh! Too bad it doesn't matter. Lucky with a knock. Sadly, for the majority of these squads, these long-range resets is going to be okay for them. Looks like University of Calgary popped off by Bellevue. See how this goes. University of Texas finally down from height. Hawaii dropped and finished. That'll be the likes of University of Texas finishing off the building that B here. Caden for a full heal, and there's another full thirst on to Kai while they have the time. Banana, the last remaining member. That will be UT Orange, safe to say, set up in zone here. We'll see where the rest of this will go for the likes of UT. University of Texas, one side of zone, the other side of that wall, very similarly for the Bellevue roster. You have to imagine ISU is somewhat close here, and instead it is Ottawa who finishes that exchange. University of Texas tries to play for height, and they're going to run right into Bellevue there. Voddery takes the brunt of that damage, and for Texas versus Bellevue, there's going to be the Rolling Thunder that finds its first damage down. Hawaii, Ottawa eliminated. Texas in prime position here, and Jukesy is just one shot away from a bad snipe. I can't believe I'm saying it, but there are still 7 squads left here. KSU Black, St. Clair, Southern Mississippi, RIT, Orange, Cumberland, who have just gotten the wipe onto RIT and are now facing the burn. Nade after nade here. This will be a full burst and a half. Futures peeked out on edge. Futures one tick, and it's Southern Mississippi for the wipe. 5 squads, and Southern has to turn this one just as quickly. St. Clair Saintsville with an impeccable beat. Rusty with a drop on the Dallas. Lucky on the other side. A knocker return for Southern Mississippi for the 2v2. A catalyst wall from a Bezzy TTV, and that is going to be the reset for both rosters here. Mind you, Bellevue are still above this all. It is now going to be Kennesaw in Bellevue from the outside of zone, punishing University of Southern Mississippi here. Little bit of damage from afar from Bellevue, and they might put some of that on to KSU here on the other side. A couple of long-range snipes. Let's see how that goes.
Never mind.
Hostile, my marker.
All right. Kraber shots for Kraber shots. There's the big 150. Bellevue University, this is their game to lose here. Shout out to Kennesaw. They've done a great job surviving against the remnants of St. Clair and USM. St. Clair, a solo. Zach W. Keys from USM, the same to be said. Now, Bellevue posturing extra here on to Kennesaw. I don't think there really is a Kennesaw answer, especially with Zach W. Keys getting a 20-20 knock there. Newcastle resets, knuckle clusters dodge. St. Clair will be wiped out by Vod. Zach W. Keys is still in it, and you have to imagine that was the long-range jump here to set himself up for play. Limbox is down. Jukesy will wear that crown. Southern Mississippi eliminated, and for Bellevue University, a slam, a chunk of damage, and a win in Game 5. All right. Let's pop on over the scoreboard there. Congratulations to Bellevue University. Let's get this refresh here. Game 5, Bellevue with 29 points. I think that is one of these smaller big dubs that we've seen. Yeah, 30, 35, 26, 29. So it's top 3. Still, 12 for KSU, 12 for UT, 12 for Cumberland, and 10 for Southern Mississippi. Fisher even walks away with 6 here. I asked you guys before this game, over under 7.5 for Cumberland. They got 9. Congratulations to those of you who took the bets. Let's take a look at our overall scoreboard. Bellevue now definitively in the lead. 89 with their first dub of the day. Ottawa, Fisher, Southern Mississippi, and Cumberland all with their own successful wins as well. Kennesaw Black there jumping on up to 6th place, which is a very comfortable position, I would say. Purdue and St. Clair keeping it even. Texas A&M will fall 2 slots here towards the very edge. UCSD, Hawaii, West Virginia Wesleyan Kaiju, they are the ones on the edge. Right now, if it ended here, ISU, Fullerton, Texas, University of Calgary, RIT, SJSU, Utah State, and UCSC would be the next squads to drop down to the low ground. Let's get our final prediction of the day. Who wins? We've got Bellevue, Ottawa, Fisher, Southern, Cumberland. I'm going to keep going. KSU Black, Purdue Black's in for 1, SCC, and at 9th, TAMU, or someone else. You never know who can come out on top of one of these equations here. 5 minutes on the board. KSU for the win. I'll tell you what, they deserve it. A 2nd place finish in that game. They're one of the few squads, I would say, who definitely deserves a dub here. Still, 1 game to go. We'll see if they can turn this one around. Several of these other rosters, the same to be said. Right now, all the points are on Bellevue for a 2nd win here. By the way, this is who wins game 6, not who wins the day. This is who wins game 6. Get your predictions in. Who wins game 6? Right now, the majority of you are on Bellevue. There we go. A little Ottawa, a little Cumberland. Come on. Someone else at 108. Someone's taking the low end, which is not a bad idea. That's UCSD Gold all the way down to UCSD Chopped. Little bit for Southern Miss. Fisher with 3K. KSU Black's got a few. Is there anybody for Purdue, SCC, or TAMU? Those are the only 3 that have no bets to their name. There's currently a wide spread on this. There's like 5,000 points up for grabs. Well, there you go. We'll see how this one finishes off here. Let us pop in to our last game of the day. Now remember, this game, we did just saw the ban of Bangalore here. So, Sparrow's pretty good. Newcastle never got banned. That is a guaranteed. Catalyst has shown a lot of strength, especially on Storm Point here. Mad Maggie will always be a definitive counter. And yes, there are quite a few teams who still like to work with them. To be honest, USM ain't gonna win. They troll. Bet all 248 on Ottawa. Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. There's still 3 minutes to get your bets in, and we are now above 5K. We are pushing towards 6K available points here. That is a huge spread for someone to win. I mean, Christ, KSU Black. Right now, KSU Black has 2 bets on them from Singular Frog and King Shrek. If they win, they get a massive, I mean massive chunk of points here. Early damage from Bellevue University over towards the launch pad to start our game today. Fisher Esports is the squad that calls this place home. A quick beacon scan will reveal the setup positions here. Dom2 Crack, Slothula, they might have found one out and alone.
Let's explore this way.
See how this goes. Slothula's golden. Dom2 Cracked up above. 34 damage. I mean, you've just got to lay this one in while you can. Ooh, big damage back here from Bellevue. VOD is ticked low, and this might be the knock all the way down here. Muffins is separate, though. Oh, Muffins is dead. That silly old fool. Well, let's see how this goes. Sentinel charged and ready. Could be the difference maker. Looks like Juxie steps back up to save Muffin's life there, even though he was caught out. That'll be Bellevue and Fisher, though, still trading on the edge. Another tick against the shield line here, and we are drawing this fight out. Remember, Johnny, 8904. There are so many teams that could pop into this. Ottawa Braves, one of them. They could easily third-party this exchange here, coming on through from the devastated coast. Now, it looks like RIT, plenty of these squads in their own couple of fights. Kennesaw, 2 knocks found onto RIT, or just the 1. They're going to split this one up to play for survivability. Jack over towards the wall, not Rowan up towards the height. Going to give them their best survivability for the end game. Cumberland, a fight of their own, though. Trade for trade, a knock onto Hadawin. I'd love to see UCSD continue to do well, but today has just not been the prime factor of success for this roster. That's going to be Hadawin eliminated, and now we're trying to figure out if the rest of them can survive. It is an escape up the gold roster, down towards the launch pad. That could be right into Fisher. UCSC chopped up on high, playing Cascades for now. Ooh, that is what I mean by for now. That's a big crack of damage. Purdue Black breaking all the shields against them here. Tharquisha is 50 health. Chop, you've got that alternative rotate. Michael with another crack. Fishy is already ahead here. I mean, they are closing this distance exponentially. Fishy with knock number 1. There's the port play around the back. The rest of these squads don't have the opportunity to get the reset. Tharquisha knocked out, and with 1 remaining member of Purdue, I don't know if they'll survive. Limbox will face a knock, and KSU Black! They died to Hawaii! User, you never have to do that, brother. We're already at 45,000, and honestly, I'm not even kidding you, man. You just being here is the most important part to me, you know? The likes are one thing, but you just hanging around enjoying Collegiate Apex, that's what matters. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate the likes, though. Texas A&M Maroon. If you could appreciate another roster, you would smother them.
Oops, just kidding.
UCSC sitting in Cascades performance is why they have frame console. No! No! Not the Longhorns! Yeah! Yeah! Aggies! Texas A&M will recover! Purdue Black will be wiped out, and that's why Joaquin's in my chat. He's definitely upset about the positioning there. Bellevue, they're going to catch the UCSD reset in zone. How chuddy can you get? Still, though, Juxie, Muffins knocked on the other side, and Bellevue might have bitten off more they could chew here. There's the crack, and Bod is low. Bellevue are expending way too much time on this one. Hadawin will go down, as there's going to be the med kit crafted for the edge of zone here. Another nade back, and there's the reset for UCSD Gold. The nade is dodged out, and this could be Bellevue down early here. Little dive around the low ground. Bellevue being chased out here. They are still extending so much time. A 2v1 situation. Vaughn has nowhere. 2v1. PK33. Muffins will be full thirsted. Hadawin is eliminated. It is the 1v1. Vaughn will get the syringe off. But the Newcastle res again. Here's the problem, folks. Bod doesn't have any more syringes to work with practically. That is another med kit here. And while that is big, he needs to get these wipes if it means surviving zone. He's not going to do it. He can't. He simply can't. He has to take the trident and leave. User, thank you, brother. I love Collegiate Apex. I used to coach Texas A&M. That's why I love it so much. Also, I just think it's a great way to... I'm not good at playing Apex, so this is how I spend my time.
On it.
I think I watch more Apex than anybody on Earth.
This upgrade's got me feeling refreshed.
Targeting that spot.
Like, actively watching Apex. I actively watch more Apex than anyone on planet Earth. Not play, watch. Texas A&M, they were able to get a reset here, and now they face the brunt of SJSU. Arc,
Up close and in my
of course,
freaking face.
already big damage down here. We haven't been keeping track of the bottom 8. I apologize for that. I need a third monitor. Here we go. Grab is separated. Shmub will go down. The charge rifle shots from Arc just ain't hitting. I don't know why we've got the PK out here. Still, a dive from Noyu. A double jump. A reset. Nkosu. Nkosu is dropped. Where did that man come from? It is now a 2v1, and Viking Cap is done. He is rocking with Advantage of all things, and he is playing checkpoint. Christ, he might be wiped out by St. Clair Saints here in just a little bit. No, the Longhorns! Ah! Ah!
Got an upgrade, gonna put it to use.
Ah! Texas A&M wiped out by University of Texas. Fisher Esports, edge of zone. Meanwhile, squads like ISU, they are prime and ready for the God spot here. We'll see how they end up surviving the onslaught of Southern Mississippi potentially. By the way, that fight down in Cedo Station, that is Fisher, Ottawa, and Bellevue. That is your top 3 rosters there. Southern Mississippi, no entry to the fight, and that will be the exit there. Dom 2 cracked with a knock onto Ottawa. Might be time to trade this one away. Looks like for Fisher Esports, successful in the final thirst there before you could take the grab cannon. Meanwhile, Utah State, they've gotten a better aura about the situation, and they're already rotating away. Fisher Esports, a trio, Bellevue, resetting on the edge of zone there. Meanwhile, St. Clair Saints, final remaining member, wiped out by the University of Texas. There goes Fisher. Nice rotate around the back. They're actually going to be racing Utah State there. No knock onto the Catalyst, but Dom 2 Crack is still controlling this rotate so well. Slothula's peeking on the other end, and that'll be Goth Apex down. Newcastle resets here. You have to be careful. You could get Bellevue at any moment from Jurassic. I'm resetting on the edge of my zone right now. Hey, Artie. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well, my man. That'll be the Utah State Goats eliminated by Fisher, and that's honestly really to the surprise of nobody. I mean, they have been getting dusted here. Meanwhile, Hawaii. Artie, here's the University of Hawaii. Hawaii versus RIT. Hawaii with the slam. Parsnips low. Hawaii, though, shot in the back. That'll be one down. Kai and Gerald Thurston. And it's a third party from Cumberland here against Hawaii. One remaining member in the face of Banana there. And we will see the nade against him. One last back. And we will say aloha to our friends. RIT, though. Now they look towards Cumberland. 13 squads left alive. I don't claim them. You gotta, my man, you gotta go back. You gotta coach. You gotta go back to University of Hawaii. They need coaching. All right, they need a professional coach.
I'm so very proud of me.
13 squads, and it's looking like 12 might be at the ready here. A couple of catalyst walls coming on through, and jeez, that is a lot of nades. None that find any real purchase here. RIT Orange, the Tigers, well, they're trying as much as they can. The zone has officially closed. Meanwhile, Fisher, a couple of knocks on the very edge there. That'll be it for the pieces of SJSU. Nkosu and Shmub will try. A knock on the Golden. Nkosu fights for the edge there. Dom can heal this, though. He is the lifeline. Couple of resets out towards the edge. Dom is ticking. It is up to Shmub to get these full thirsts off. Remember, this is a competition for #1, and Fisher are eliminated. for SJSU, they follow just as quickly, and I guarantee you that means we will be seeing SJSU in the lower lobby next week. University Texas, they're trying to get to the upper 12. Like I said, retain their position in the premier lobby. And against Bellevue, that is a knock to make a difference. Another final thirst, and Bellevue is wiped out. That is Fisher, Bellevue, and Ottawa all removed from the situation here. Southern Mississippi and Cumberland in 4th and 5th place. This is their chance to take this one away. Nice 108. Little tap upon the noggin there from Biz. Ain't gonna be much more than that. Cheatsy should have ran Rev. I agree. Well, I'll tell you what. Southern Mississippi, a trio in zone. ISU Farmers, they host the building across from them. Plenty of other squads, but remember, this zone in particular, it takes a lot more of the northern side of Wall into respect. Remember, that northern side, you get a lot of the high ground on those rocks, and that can play very well into a top 5 finish. Cumberland and Calgary have the best, at least, take for that right now. West Virginia's in the wall. Fullerton's got to fight their way in. UCSC chop will come through. You'll be watching me lobby one again next week, says Mez. Mez, welcome back, brother. Did you play tonight? That's all I need to know. Couple of shots here from Chopped. Big beams on the ready. Fullerton unable to get into the zone as confidently as they would like. Little do they know that Western building is so safe for them. Truthfully, should be able to set themselves back up, but the UCSD Gold roster are just as quickly rotating behind them here. That is going to be UCSD Gold now coming through just behind them, but it's too late. When they wanted to, they miss out on the opportunity. Thankfully, the southern side of Wall is a good position to call home for now. 9 squads remaining. West Virginia. Couple of teleport plays of the Ash on the other side, and UCSC chopped. We don't talk about this other Californian roster often, but from this high ground, they got a little bit of punishment. Look at that zone, though. 1:13 to go, and like I said, Cumberland's and Calgary's have the best position. West Virginia Wesleyan is over there, right on the edge. Bottery, welcome back, my brother. Thank you so much for the subscription, my goat. Oh, this sign has seen so many better hours.
Yes.
I gotta find the Bottery name on here. Oh, I found it. All right, I'll underline that in a bit. Yeah, the VOD sub is critical. Shout out to the likes of West Virginia Wesleyan. 33 seconds to go, and they are able to get at least knock number 1. We'll see if they can actually get further. The evac is already under tow here. Remember, the minute they come up from that evac, though, they are going to be choked out by the chopped roster coming up above. We'll see if they can fly. Calgary has one of the better positions. Cumberland the same. ISU is fighting for space as well. And hell, University of Texas, the Longhorns are in a good spot just behind ISU. They're not in zone yet, but they totally could thirst them here. Nice castle wall. Kamal has given ISU safety, but they are still shot in the back from wall side there. Caden from University of Texas, like I said, they're going to find that knock. And it's just a couple of other exchanges ahead here. UCSD Gold, they will fight for their life. Fullerton is sniped from the side there. A mobile shield will help them get this reset off. But for I'm Rumley from San Diego here, I cannot imagine they will last any longer. Cumberland, West Virginia, ISU, Calgary, and UT are very likely to be your final 5. Cumberland University in a great position there. Now trying to slide to the low ground to finish off these rotating wall squads. There's UT Orange. There's the likes of UC San Diego. The bombardment flying through from Future here. Big damage back. West Virginia, a knock of 1 as we'll say goodbye to Chop. The knuckle cluster is critical as Dean will go down. YMV will not last. And once again, it is going to be Cumberland, Fullerton, Southern Miss, ISU, and Calgary to survive for your top 5. Big Man Ox and Crimson Monk, though, They have fought for this spot, and it is coming to its end. It just doesn't last any longer. So much of a nade spam on its way through. One after one after one here. Getting shot out from Cumberland up on the high ground. A couple of snipes, a triple take. Johnny, 20 streams in a row, and only probably 20 health. Well, actually, truthfully, he's got a little more than 20. Looks like FPS Aether there from Calgary has just gotten a knock of a lifetime. Meanwhile, more knuckle clusters. Those are the full thirst that count. And for the Elephants, they're going to have to find their way back to the ring. Their masters have come home. Cumberland, Fullerton, UT, and Un more here. The University, ISU, Calgary, Southern Mississippi, and Cumberland. Space, thank you for the follow. For ISU, they have been pressured for so long in this zone here, whether it was UT, whether it was Calgary. Problem is, though, you are now getting back rotated by none other than Cumberland. Cumberland are looking for their second dub of the day. And from this high ground position, there is not a lot that can stop them here. G7 Scout in the hands of Future, another knuckle cluster against ISU. And I am struggling to understand how long we have seen this roster try and survive for. Jamal, sadly, to meet his maker at the hands of Thalys. It is a Southern Mississippi, Cumberland, or potentially a new Calgary win here. Cumberland and Southern Mississippi competing for a solid spot in the top 3 for this next week. Meanwhile, it is the defense of a lifetime from the likes of Calgary. They were 15th before this game, and I guarantee this performance has just allowed them to jump on up there. Nice drop from Slasher from afar. Lost Aimer trying to peek Cumberland from the other side. Big nade down. Another bombardment from Future, and that one is going to blast on through the side of USM. One remaining member for USM stuck behind the knockdown shields there. It is Zach W. Keys, who actually has managed to climb this one up, and Rat for now. Cumberland versus Calgary. Howdy Parksa, howdy Sykin. Our final fight of the day. 20 seconds to go. Cumberland has high ground control, but that doesn't guarantee that they will win the game here. I will say, USM wrapping behind the likes of Calgary is a tough spot to work with here.
Mosey there, fellas.
Future is watching them, though. Eyes like a hawk. The zone does finish closer to Calgary. It is going to be a much longer rotate here for the other side. Couple of peeks, and Lost Aimer's already taken the brunt of damage down. The walls begin to close in. Speed Demon. Kraber. And for FPS Aether, that could be the difference maker. Little full thirst onto Vizay there. And the best thing you can hope for is USM and Cumberland getting forced between each other, but there's the Ash Ward play. Cumberland have opted to take the rocks ahead here. Little arc snare onto Calgary, and already you are pinched from either side. Lost Aimer one, ISO Zany another, a couple of nades from the low ground here, and it is FPS Aether trying to slide for a return, but will be shot out. And with one remaining member on the low ground here, Cumberland University find their second and final win of the day. I mean, congratulations to Cumberland. We all saw it coming there. How do you lose from that high ground position? It is one of the best spots to play from. Let's take a look, though. Jump on over to the scoreboard here. Quick refresh. Little overall standings. Bellevue University. Oh, by the way, someone did predict Cumberland. One person predicted Cumberland, and they're about to make a fortune. Congratulations to Solari Lunaris for getting 5,000 plus points here off of that bet. There we go. Let's look. The top 12 teams will remain in the upper lobby. Bellevue, Cumberland, Ottawa Braves, Fisher, Southern Mississippi. Those are your top 5. UCSD Gold is right there. KSU Black, Texas A&M Maroon, Purdue Black, St. Clair Saints, West Virginia Wesleyan. They officially make the jump and secure it. Hawaii, sadly, seeing in the lower lobby. Calgary, third place wasn't enough. Calgary dying to Cumberland there. Had Calgary survived to second place, had they wiped out USM, we would talk about Calgary instead and not University of Hawaii. That is insane. UT Orange also made an incredible jump, but these first couple of games, it was just too bad. CSUF Fullerton, the ISU Farmers, back to the lower lobby where they belong. RIT Orange, UCSC Chopped, UCS Goats, and a surprise, SJSU really struggling today. The worst team in this lobby. That is just tough. A quick refresh of the overall standings since they are already updated now. Cumberland is now in the lead as well as they were previously in the lead. Bellevue is catching up though. Fisher and Ottawa still in a very similar spot. KSU Black there I did think takes a little bit of a turn. Southern Mississippi, UCSD Gold. There's Calgary Exodus, St. Clair Saints, CSUF Hawaii, University of Utah, who, by the way, let's check this out. This is an important thing to look at. This is the lower lobby. So these are the squads that will be joining us in this next week. University of Utah without a win, without a single win on the day. University of Utah in first, Minnesota in second. There's TMU Bold, Western, Temple Cherry, the UCF Knights, KSU Gold, and Augusta. A lot of that makes a lot of sense there. Illini won the first game of the day, but just couldn't quite hold on. The rest of these teams are shitty as always. No surprises there. Well, congratulations to those of you who move on. I cannot wait to see what lies in store for next Friday. We are coming to the end of Premier League. Reminder, we've got Contenders tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we got Apex Collegiate League for NECC early in the morning at 12 p.m. Eastern. I want to thank you all for coming out, hanging out, and honestly, having a great time with the Big Zeph here. I mean, I cannot thank you more. Let's raid someone. Let's give someone some love. Also, user, thank you so much for the 52, brother. You got to pass the highest. Now you got to get 52.4. Who we raiding? Who we raiding? Who deserves it? Who deserves it? Someone to raid. Someone to raid. Raid Imperial Hal. No. No. Why would I do that? I'm not raiding Philip. That's so weird. Because it's the CEO? Just because he's the CEO doesn't mean he gets a raid. Guys, we got to move quick here. Give me someone with one viewer. You are not on a first name basis with the CEO. Please mind yourself. Brother, I've been to the bar with him. Together. What are we talking about? I've been to multiple ALGS lands. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. All right, this is it. I'm just doing similar, smaller size. I'm going to put it low to high. I'm just going to raid the first Apex person I see. Oh, Jumba. Let's raid Jumba. Are you kidding me? I have to raid Jumba. Jumba supports me. I support Jumba. I'm biased. All right, go give Jumba some love. Tell him my shorts are better or something. I don't know. Enjoy watching him play ranked. He's currently playing with a couple of friends of ours. And I want to thank you guys. I'll be back tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, for our Saturday collegiate leagues. Thank you guys so much.